Okay, we are back outside the Royal Court of Justice in London. We are talking to David, who is the Deputy Mayor of Brisbane in Australia. So this is really significant, I think, because obviously that's where Julian grew up. David, what brings you here today, man? Why are you with us today?
Well, we heard that a decision was coming down, and as a true Australian, as a good Brisbaneite, I wanted to show my support for Julian. I think what's happened is a great tragedy. I don't have a lot of confidence in the British justice system. I have even less confidence in the American justice system. I am pleased that the Australian government finally grew a backbone and supported Julian's case and has asked both the President of the United States and the British government to do whatever they can to end this farce. Whether it's ended today or not, we'll soon know.
What's your feelings on it? I mean, obviously you've seen a bit of the system behind the scenes in your previous life. How do you feel about what's going to happen with this ongoing case?
Well, after 25 years in politics in Australia, I'm pretty cynical. I have learnt that the legal system doesn't produce justice, it produces a legal decision, and there's a difference. The people here represent the cause for justice. These buildings represent a legal system, and whether they actually coincide and come up with the right decision, which is to free him today, well, we'll know in a few minutes.
Yeah, you're totally right. It could also be the thing that they get hung up on a technicality, which I think might be saves them the embarrassment of extraditing him or making that decision, and also it maintains the example that they're making of him by keeping this going. Do you think that the process might actually be the punishment? Do you think that this is going to drag on and on?
Well, it's a classic example of a system that uses the legal technicalities as a way of punishing someone even though they haven't had a judgment against them. And that happens time and time again to lesser people than Julian Assange, but when it happens to someone like him, someone who has blown the whistle on so many travesties, then it hurts all of us. So for God's sake, for Julian's sake, for the judicial system's sake, I hope that they come up with the right decision today.
Yeah, well, as do we all. As somebody with experience in the sort of machinery of politics then, what in your experience, it really is the thing that makes the difference, that we can all get involved in on the street that actually does affect things? Is it this, or is it, is it writing to your MP? What is it? What makes the difference?
Yeah, look, it's an interesting question. I've had, as you mentioned, 25 years in the political system in Australia, and I know that the most effective way of getting through to politicians is to be in their face, not to allow them to hide behind emails or parliamentary privilege or whatever. So get out there, be visible, be vocal, as people are today, but they should be on to their local MPs. They should be doing whatever they can. I have personally spoken to the Prime Minister of Australia, who has at last, as a result of a lot of pressure from a lot of people in Australia, come out and supported Julian's case that he should be freed and allowed to go back to Australia and do the job that he was meant to do. I'm a journalist by training. My father was a journalist. I have a journalist son who works for The Guardian. Journalists everywhere are watching this case. They're waiting for the decision, and they want the right decision. The cause of justice demands freedom of speech.
Beautifully put. Thank you so much for talking to us today, David. We appreciate you, man.